Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with a recent update from Carlos Thomas Jr. I actually grabbed this update from the Instagram buys and tries. This is apparently Carlos at 1 week out. And how do I think Carlos looks at 1 week out from the Texas Pro? His arms look pretty good, waist is tight, controlled, quads also look good as usual. But if this is 1 week out, I'm seriously worried about Carlos when it comes to condition. He's going to be going against Hunter Labrada, Andrew jacked. Hunter showcased a crazy amount of detail at Tampa. Andrew needs a little bit more work from behind, but from the front and from the side, he also showcases a good amount of detail. But I'm not going to be too critical of Carlos in these physique updates. What matters the most is what he brings to the bodybuilding stage. Now, this is an image I've been seeing of Carlos floating around Instagram. I'm not exactly sure when it's from, but if I had to guess, I would say this picture was taken within the past 2 weeks because Carlos looks more conditioned here than he did at the guest posing 3 weeks ago. But Texas is going to be a very exciting show. Speaking of the Texas Pro, let's take a look at the competitors list. And as we all know, the front runners for this show are Hunter Labrada, Andrew jacked, and Carlos Thomas Jr. For some reason, Andrew's name is not on this list, and he's been confirmed to be doing Texas for probably months now, but I'm pretty sure Andrew will still be at the show. Now, there are a couple other names that jump out to me. Lewis Breed placed 3rd at the Tampa Pro, and the last name on the list, Jonathan Withers. This guy has some crazy quads. He can be within that top 5, but unfortunately, no offense to anyone, but I don't think this is the deepest lineup. And I was talking about this with EP09. I think it's because there's no more point system. Guys don't want to jump into shows that they don't think they can potentially win, because every show this year has pretty much been a 2-man show outside of the Arnold Classic. I mean, Texas is going to be a 3-man show, but you guys get what I'm saying. We haven't really had a good top 5 show this year outside of the Arnold Classic. And while we're on the topic of the Texas Pro, let's take a look at the Classic Physique competitors list. And one guy that I've been really hyping up is not on this list, and that is Dankovia Anderson, but I'm pretty sure Dankovia will still be at the show. Now, the front runners for Classic, Dankovia Anderson, Logan Franklin, and guess who else we have? Mr. Classic Physique, Robert Timms, and I could not be more happy to see this guy's name on the competitors list. In 2021, I had Logan Franklin as my heavy favorite. No way that Logan loses this show. Robert Timms comes out of nowhere, brings a crazy physique, and wins the show. Well deserved. But can Robert Timms come into the 2023 Texas Pro and win this show once again? I think so. After seeing his name on the competitors list, Robert Timms is my favorite to win this show. And let's also take a look at the 212 competitors list for the Texas Pro. And of course, the heavy favorite is going to be Keon Pearson, but there's another name that really jumps out to me on this list, and that's Noel Adame. Noel won last year's New York Pro in the 212 division. He was unable to compete this year because he missed weight. Hopefully this guy makes weight at Texas. But as of right now, I'm predicting a top 2 call out of Keon and Noel in Texas. Now let's switch over to Samson Dauda, who recently posted up a real last spread. I believe we're about 12 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia, maybe even 11. Things are really starting to roll now, guys. But Samson is going to be a serious threat at this year's Olympia. The main thing is going to be his conditioning. Samson has the roundness, 3D, he has the structure, but will he be conditioned enough? And I know that Samson got the nod over Nick Walker at the Arnold Classic, even though Nick was more conditioned, but is Samson going to get the nod over Nick, Hottie, and Derek if they're all more conditioned than him? But I do believe that Samson Dauda will bring his best package to this year's Olympia. Hopefully it's also his most conditioned package. But as I've been saying in all of these updates, Samson and Derek are the 2 guys I'm looking at the most going into this year's Olympia. And in the next update of the day, we have some recent updates of Regan Grimes ahead of the Italy Pro. And Regan has finally posted up some proper physique updates. And there's no question in my mind, this guy has 100% made improvements. Regan Grimes has added more muscle to his physique. I really wonder, what is this guy going to bring to the stage? I think it's possible we may see the best Regan we've ever seen. But after we see Regan at Italy, we can kind of gauge how will he stack up against the top guys. Now let's switch over to Michal Krizo, who posted up a small update. And I'm pretty sure we are all excited to see this guy on stage at this year's Olympia. Michal Krizo was 12th place at last year's Olympia. It's possible that's the lowest he will ever place. I'm looking to see this guy get into the top 10, maybe push some top 6 guys. And let's switch over to Rubiel Mascara, also known as Neckzilla. I've never covered this guy on my channel before, but I'm pretty sure at least some of you guys have seen this physique before. But he is currently an IFBB Elite Pro. In just 12 weeks, he will be competing in a qualifier in Italy and attempting to come over to the NPC. And of course, I could not be more excited. And I've seen Rubiel compete in the IFBB Elite Pro. This guy has a crazy physique, but he will need to be in better condition to be truly competitive in the NPC. But maybe it's a situation like Michal Krizo. Krizo said he felt like he didn't necessarily have to come in condition to win shows in the IFBB Elite Pro. But look forward to seeing Neckzilla in just 12 weeks. We will be covering it over here on GOAT Fitness. Subscribe to the channel. And in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from Tonio Burton ahead of this year's Olympia. And in the caption of this post, Tonio said he will be bringing his best package of all time to this year's Olympia. And if Tonio was able to improve on the package that he brought to New York, that's going to be a little bit scary for the competition. I always push a lot of hype into Tonio. I believe this guy has crazy potential. As far as this year's Olympia goes, I would love to see Tonio in the top 10, but I think he will finish right outside of that. I believe Tonio Burton will place it this year's Olympia. Tonio can really catch some guys slipping and beat them, but in about a year or two, when this guy adds a little bit more muscle, guys are going to have to catch him slipping in order to beat Tonio. I believe this guy has a very bright future. And in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from Charles Griffen. And I heard that Charles is about 7 weeks out from the Legion Sports Fest. Charles said he will be on the 2023 Olympia stage, and he will be attempting to do that in just 7 weeks. Now, as of right now, the only other big name I know to be doing Legion is John Jewett. He will be making his open debut, moving up from 212. Really looking forward to seeing Charles Griffen on stage. And honestly, by the time we get to the Legion Sports Fest, pretty much everyone will be qualified. So I'm pretty sure Charles Griffen is going to win that show and head straight to the Mr. Olympia. And let's switch over to Blessing Awodibu, who posted up an update at about 4 weeks out. And I would say that Blessing looks better here than he looked on stage at the Chicago Pro. Take a look at the size of the biceps and the forearms on this guy. And it was nice of Blessing to finally give us a leg update. The legs still need a little bit more work, maybe a lot of work, but nice of Blessing to give us an idea of how they're looking. And I'm not sure if Blessing can pull off a win in 4 weeks, but I'm pretty sure he will look better than how he looked in Chicago. But let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below, who is this bodybuilder? And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from GOAT Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.